contradictory stuff in there. There's different opinions in there. It's not like it's all just one, and there's some critical stuff, even criticizing our own work. Another important aspect of our work, what I'd like to see us do, I'd like to see our committee to decarcerate the Garden State and all of our decarceration organizations to form justice subcommittees. And what that means is that we be a clearinghouse, a place where those who see themselves as victims of injustice by frame-ups, by over-sentencing, over-prosecution, or even if they weren't over-prosecuted, but they ended up in the system and then they get abused in the system, that we're there to support. And one such family is Renee Felton. Now, Renee from Jersey City, her son was shot in the head by a police officer, and for the crime of not dying, he has been sentenced to 16 years in prison. And this is happening more and more, where victims of violence are being prosecuted as a means of covering up the crime that the police have committed. And we need to have, our decarceration committee cannot hold water if we cannot at least offer support. We also need to offer support to political prisoners, those who are serving time for acting to defend the community, for acting to liberate their community, who are acting to challenge the policies of this government and of the wealthy and the multinational corporations. If we cannot support political prisoners, we cannot be a decarceration committee that can hold its own. So we need to include that in our justice work. We need to be a kind of place where, for example, Renee Felton was very distraught today. Her son's recently been remanded to a prison way down 2 hours away in South Jersey, so it's like a $40 round trip for her. She tried to get on the list to visit her own son, and she's been told by her son that she's not approved. Her son shot, blinded for life, sentenced to 16 years, her first attempt to visit, and she's not approved to visit her own son. We need to demand justice. Our committee we need to find out who we need to call. And not only in this case, we need to be the kind of thing where when we need to put pressure on this warden or that official or whoever, but we need to get to court in Elizabeth or whatever we need to do to support folks, we need to be able to do it. Another important aspect of our work is reflection. Ciaja has talked about the New Jim Crow. We have started a study group. We got 10 copies of the book. We haven't started having meetings around that yet, but we will. We will set up some online discussions as well, but we'll have some face-to-face. We're also going to get some films. We have some films and talks, etc. And the purpose is we need more than a gut reaction. We need more than in our gut we know it's wrong. We need to be armed with the facts, the figures, to be able to make the arguments, whether it be on the street, whether it be to our friends or to a public official. We need to be able to hold our own, so we need to be fully informed. We have a whole host of resources. We have a whole host of resources that are online. The paper will connect you to it. The first place to go is to the website decarceratenj.org. Can we repeat that? Decarceratenj.org. Let me hear you say that. Go there. Contact us. Finally, we don't have all the answers. We're only getting started. We have come this far. We have made this issue. We've established this issue. We have a very interactive program. We've had meetings almost every week. We don't always stay on topic of our agenda, but we have made a lot of decisions and we have accomplished a lot already. Become part of the committee to decarcerate the Garden State. Either as an individual, as organizations, we're just getting started. So if you're from another town, you got connections to another town, you want to bring us there, contact us. You have an idea, contact us. You want to organize a meeting, you want to organize a film showing, or you see we did something wrong today, or ever, contact us, let us know. if you're a family member and you have an issue that you need us to try to rally some people to call up a warden and flood him with phone calls and say, let Renee visit her son. Let him have some good food. Heed the demands of these prisoners that are striking, or whatever it may be. Contact us and let us be part of it. We need to figure this out, and we need to be able to develop a stronger, more effective movement so that when we say to the warden of that prison that Renee needs to be able to visit her son, that they listen. Right now, they're going to ignore us, but we need to be massive, effective, and when we are, we will be able to get these kinds of problems solved. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Give it up for Bob Witanek for his gracious commitment, the newspaper, him coming up here from centralish, southish Jersey. And we're about to close out. Let us just say this. For the elders that are here, what phone number can they call in terms of a phone? Is that on the newspaper as well? Please, because some of you may not be still on the internet, please make sure you get a newspaper right here. It's free. And if you know you're going to pass some out, if you know that you are also interacting with some of them who are out there in the streets, make sure that you pass them out, if they can read it, that you can pass them out a newspaper. Let us conclude with this. This is not entertainment. Because I know American people are just so conditioned with, if they're sitting in a chair or if they're in the audience, this is a show. It's not a show. Should you be reminded about your son or your mate who comes home traumatized, withdrawn, don't even know how to have human interaction, because he's been in a cell for 5 years.